All right, Shalom. Let me start off by giving all praise to Yahweh Shemiel Shabbat Shemar the honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the house of David. All right, I want to get into this topic of this article that I've seen late last night. This coronavirus, the plague of the Lord is spreading, man. All right, to eventually do away with this the rulership of Esau, which is the so-called white man, according to this Bible. All right, it says panic mode on. DOW plunge, or is it called Dow, plunges 1,000+ points on mounting fears over coronavirus spreading. It says U.S. markets continue to plunge on reports of increasing number of cases of the coronavirus being identified outside China. The Dow Jones dropped by more than 1,000 points, 3.7% on Monday, while the CEP 500 dropped 3.5%, and the Nasdaq index lost as much as 4%. It says investors are increasingly worried about the economic impact of the coronavirus outbreak as more countries took measures to curb its spread over the weekend. And it says South Korea reported 161 new cases of the infection on Monday, while Italy and Iran also said they had seen a jump in the number of cases. And if I'm not mistaken, I seen a video that said Italy is in the state of emergency. All right, and it says travel stocks along with technology stocks were trading lower on Monday, with Apple, Facebook, Microsoft, Amazon, and Alphabet taking a 250 billion loss cumulatively as part of the broader plunge. Airline stocks, meanwhile, also saw a significant drop, with both Delta and America down 7%. This coronavirus, this is stopping, a lot of, of everyday transactions. All right. Even though a lot of people may think that it's a joke, but at the end of the day, it's serious. All right. Ask a person that laughs about the coronavirus, would you go to China? I bet you they say no, man, because at the end of the day, it's serious, but these Babylonians, they laugh off, they laugh, when things, they laugh off, their fear pretty much. All right, it says European markets were also feeling the effect, with British FTSE 100 and Germany DAX both falling by more than 3.5%. It says U.S. stocks suffered mass losses on mounting fears over coronavirus. All right, and then you got DJ Trump. He said the coronavirus is very much under control in the U.S. We are in contact with everyone in all relevant countries. CDC and World Health have been working hard and very smart. Stock market starting to look very good to me. He's saying that, just to put comfort in you people, man. All right. Speaking them smooth words, but he knows destruction is nigh, man. All right. And it's the coronavirus is not under control, man. It's a plague, man. All right, and you can't control the plagues of Yahweh Shemiel Shah. All right, but let me get into some scriptures. This is James chapter 1, verse 11. It says, "For the sun is no sooner risen with a burning heat, but it withereth the grass, and the flower thereof falleth, and the grace of the fashion of it perish. So also shall the rich man fade away in his ways." All right, the Lord, he's going to collapse this society, man. All right, the dollar bill is going to collapse. All right, and the rich man, he's going to fade away in his ways, man. All right, his ways of reaping corruption, all right, he's going to fade away, man, all right, along with this society. All right, in verse 12 it says, "Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him." All right, these people that love riches, man, they don't love the Lord. So when they're tried, they're gonna fail. When they're tried, as the righteous are gonna be tried, they're gonna um, they're gonna um, fold, man. They're gonna fold because they don't have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Lord. All right, and let me get Second Ezra, chapter chapter 15 and verse 5. It says, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction." Man, all right. The Lord, He's bringing these plagues, man. All right, the coronavirus. That's going to eventually lead. Lord willing. You know, regardless, man, it's going to lead to famine. All right, the sword, death, and destruction, man. All right, because the Lord, He promised it. So the Lord, His words doesn't go out void. So everything that the Lord says He's going to do because He's a man of His words. All right, it says, "For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled." That's why the Lord is bringing these plagues, because wickedness has polluted this place. So the Lord, He has to make a sacrifice, on Babylon, man, and turn it to ashes. All right. It says, "Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit." He's not holding His tongue no more. Because He's letting the prophets, speak His words. He's not holding back, the wickedness of this place. Every wickedness that goes on, it's a brother within the body that's doing a video on it. All right. It says, "Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually." And that's what we're doing, man. We're complaining continually about this place. All right. We're complaining. All right. And we're making things known, man. We're marking what Esau is doing, man. We're making it being known to everybody, man. All right. We're uplifting the skirt of Esau, man. All right. All his wickedness is being exposed through the prophets, man. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right. In Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1, it says, "Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the moon," Salaki, it says, "while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds will return unto after the rain." So hey, seek the Creator now, man. All right. Before the days of doom, man. All right. And in verse 3 it says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened." Man, the grinding, the hard work, in Babylon is going to soon cease, man. All right. The keepers of the house, all right, the strong men, they're going to be crying bitterly, in these days, man. That's coming very nigh. All right. Uh, in verse 4 says, "And the doors shall be shut in the streets, and the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low." And that's, you seeing that in China, man. Uh, you know, it says the door shall be shut in the street. It's silence out there in the streets, man. All right. There's no nobody walking in the streets of China. Really in the city of Wuhan, but all China, man. China's on lockdown because of coronavirus. All right, that plague from Yahweh Shem Shai. All right. But the grinding is gonna cease, man. All right. You know, the Lord, He's putting these curses, upon Babylon, man, upon these heathens. Just like He put the curses upon us. You know. Just Jeremiah chapter 44, verse 13 says, "For I will punish them that dwell in the land of Egypt, as I have punished Jerusalem by the sword, by famine, and by the pestilence." All right. The famine is soon to come, man. All right. Maybe even through this coronavirus, man. Either one way or another, either if it's through the coronavirus or not, the famine, you know, the sword, the pestilence, is all going to come to the land of Egypt, all right, which is modern day Babylon, man. All right, the house of bondage, for the so-called blacks, Mennonites, and Americans, which are the Israelites, according to the Bible. All right, and let me get this curse. Uh, these are the curses that's fallen upon our enemies. All right, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 16 says, "Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field." These crops, man. All right, these crops are they're getting destroyed by the pestilence. All right, if I'm not mistaken, locusts eating up crops being flooded. All right, that's the Lord, man. Cursed shall thou be in the city, cursed shall thou be in the field. Cursed shall be thy, verse 17, cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. These stores are going to have lack of food, already lack of food in Italy, if I'm not mistaken. All right. The store is wiped out. That famine. Cursed, verse 18, cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep. You know, that's the curses that's going on within the food industry, man. All right, with the money system, all this shit. The fruit of thy land, man. It's decreasing, man. All right, and the Lord promised that, man. All right, Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. And the Lord Yahweh thy God will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And thou shalt return and obey the voice of the Lord and do all his commandments which I command thee this day. And that's what's going on. You got the prophets, you got the elect waking up, obeying the voice of the Lord, and you got these curses coming upon our enemies as we speak. All right, verse 9 says, "And the Lord thy God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, will make thee plenteous in every work of thy hand, and the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy cattle, and the fruit of thy land for good. For the Lord Yahweh will again rejoice over thee for good, as he rejoiced over thy fathers." So Lord, he's slowly bringing us back, with the blessings, all right, and putting the curses on our enemies, as it's going to be in the kingdom. That's how you know the kingdom is nigh, all right, and the kingdom is within us, all right. The curses being flipped on our enemies, all right, and the blessings coming to us, man. All right, it says, "If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which are written in his book of the law, and if thou turn unto the Lord Yahweh thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, for this commandment which I command thee this day, it is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off. Is it not in heaven, that thou shouldest say, Who shall go up for us to heaven and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it? Neither is it beyond the sea, that thou shouldest say, Who shall go over the sea for us and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it? But the word is very nigh unto thee, in thy mouth and in thy heart, that thou mayest do it." The word is nigh, man, through the prophets, man. Right here on YouTube, all you gotta do is click on YouTube, primarily the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, man. Type in GMS. You're gonna be fed the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So the word is nigh unto you, Israelites, man. It's just whether your spirit can grasp it or not. All right, whether you want to take heed to it or not. All right, but the word is here, man. All right, the grinding is ceasing, man. All right, these curses are being flipped. All right, the rich man's ways is going to fade away, and it's slowly but surely fading away, man. All right, riches will not profit you in the day of wrath, man. All right, the Lord, he's flipping these curses on our enemies, man. Destroying the land of Egypt as he did before. All right, so I'm gonna close out with that. Give all praise to Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah, Bashim Kakadash. The honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the house of David. To the next lesson, I say Shalom.